While there are leaves on the ground right now, winter snowfall is here. Buses may be able to offer another transportation alternative. However, riders may need to get to their stops a bit earlier to get to their destination on time. Washington State University campus grounds are beginning to suffer from the financial deficit that's plaguing the university. The WSU Facilities Department lost roughly 40% of their funding from 2016. This is creating longer grass, more weeds, and are more likely to see mossy, torn-up banners here on campus. While the rugby team has faced adversity in the past, the team got a win today. They now move forward to 1-0 in the regular season. Brewfest's primary goal is to raise resources for its students. However, it also promotes local businesses like Pullman's very own Paradise Creek Brewery. Enjoying a hot cup of coffee is one of Pullman's favorite ways to numb the pain of finals week deadlines. Now, members of the community can purchase hot cups of coffee from the STEM students to help them achieve their dreams. Cannabis legalization in Washington has created a downward trend of small, personal use seizures among its residents. However, this isn't always the case with nearby cities and towns. Washington State University again fell victim to phishing emails this fall. University officials believe they don't see an end to the problem. Today marks the 76th anniversary of the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. The flag is at half-mast today to represent all those that were affected by it. If you are not comfortable driving in the snow, buses can be much safer than personal vehicles.
Our buses are pretty big and heavy, and they have fairly good tractions. They have good tires on them. So normally we can continue most of our routes. It's only a couple of steep hills we avoid that sometimes. We have buses that go up from this marsh up to the high school, up a whole drive there, and sometimes we have to detour that route to take some side streets, or maybe go up Larry Street instead of. But besides that, most of the buses stay on route, the regular routes throughout the winter. While there are leaves on the ground right now, winter snowfall is here. Buses may be able to offer another transportation alternative. However, riders may need to get to their stops a bit earlier to get to their destination on time.
Whenever there's snow, you definitely want to get to the bus early because there's a chance that it'll be delayed. There's been like really bad delays with the bus when it's snowing, so you definitely just want to get there early.
Winter driving accidents are a common occurrence here in Pullman. If you are forced to drive, Pullman Police Commander Chris Tinnett provides advice.
You know, the tricky thing about ice and snow is once you start sliding on ice and snow, it's too late. So the thing about winter driving is you have to give it a little thought ahead of time.
Pullman can be a nerve-wracking place to drive. Being aware while driving can prevent an accident.
Pullman has a ton of hills, up and down. You need to think about that hill before you start going down. Like, don't go down Murrow Street towards Stadium Way, because I guarantee you're not going to stop at the bottom.
Jesse Maiwald, Murrow News 8. Is marijuana in Washington at the age of 21. Marijuana is still illegal to possess in Idaho.
I can tell you that as long as you have a valid ID, out of state or not, Washington allows you to come in and smoke their cannabis.
MJ's Pot Shop accounted for roughly $31,000 in Washington State's excise tax for the month of September.
Certainly you can see the difference in the cannabis industry and how it's helped the taxes here in town.
Colton Hansen of MJ's Pot Shop elaborates on the growing trend of the cannabis industry.
It was very limited as far as what growers were available, and here we are 3 years later, tons of shops open, ridiculous amount of growers and processors available.
Washington historically competed with Idaho regarding various laws such as Washington's minimum wage.
I think it is a draw because it's not legal in Idaho, so you know, to me it's sort of a tit for tat. It's you keep the restaurants and we'll keep the cannabis, and you come over and buy it and spend your money over here.
Cannabis legalization in Washington has created a downward trend of small, personal use seizures among its residents. However, this isn't always the case with nearby cities and towns.
Marijuana that is professionally packaged for sale, obviously from a dispensary, is showing up more and more.
Seizures in Idaho increased from 2 pounds in 2015 to roughly 41 pounds in 2016. Jesse Maiwald, Murrow News 8.